Court. My name is Heather, and this is another update in the Delphi case. So, we are going through a bunch of the latest court filings. There were a bunch that came out last week, and I'm sorting through them and trying to get through them. I'm catching up. So, as I catch up with them, I am sharing them with you guys and hoping that we learn some things together. So, if you don't mind, before we dive in, could you please hit that like button? It really helps out the algorithm for you and for me, so it's good for both of us. All right, so let's begin. I wanted to start off with first of all, the title of this. I like the thumbnail. Look at Judge Gull's face. I imagine that's her face like most of the time, at least when she's on the bench. She'd be a scary judge to go up against if you were um, a defendant in her courtroom. All right, so anyways, the title of this episode or stream is called Ex Parte Communications to Judge Gull. So, what is an ex parte communication? Let's take a look. So, we've gone over ex parte before, which pretty much means like one side. So, it's for, I think I'm right. Am I right in that? In referring to if you're filing something ex parte, then that means it's not for the other side's eyes to view it. It should only be filed so that they themselves can view it and the judge can view it. That's my understanding of it. But when we're talking about an ex parte communication to a judge, it has a little bit different of a meaning. So I wanted to go through that. So an ex parte communication to a judge occurs when one, a party to a case or someone interested in the case talks or writes directly to the judge about the issues in the case without the other party's knowledge. So if you or I or anyone in this nation were to write an email to Judge Gull, then without either maybe you were writing for Nick McLeland and saying, I know that Richard Allen did it because I have evidence or whatever, if you were talking to the judge in that respect. But maybe you are more on the defensive side where you want more transparency in the case. You want hearings open and televised for the public and whatnot. You could do that. And that would be an ex parte communication. Neither side, the defense or the prosecution, knows, and you're just taking it on your own volition to contact the judge for some reason. So that's an ex parte communication. Or two, it undermines the fairness of a judicial proceeding by introducing new information without giving the other party an opportunity to respond. So that's the ex parte filing. You can file something where the other person doesn't get to see it or look at it. Maybe it's just for the judge's information for some foundation or something, or it's confidential and you don't want the other side to know. And number three, it is considered improper or unethical, sorry, not or, improper and unethical. So that is what an ex parte communication to a judge is. So I think that we qualify for that with these communications that we're about to read. So, some individuals took it upon themselves to contact the judge, and we've gone through some of the ex parte communications before on this channel. There have been several concerned citizens that have written to the judge saying, I don't like what's going on in the Richard Allen trial. I don't like that you're keeping cameras out of the courtroom. Would you be more transparent? Stop messing with their lawyers, blah, 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 blah. Like a whole bunch of different things that people want to say to the judge. So, you, viewer, are more than welcome to contact her too if you want. It is totally up to your discretion. She's a public figure and anyone can contact her and file an ex parte communication. Just FYI. So, ex parte communication from ES. This person chose to, I believe, remain anonymous. ES ordered, copy, and sent to counsel of record and clerk of the Carroll Circuit Court for filing in this issue. And let's scroll down and see what ES has to say. Your Honor, depends on this. You must do something to fix this gross misconduct. There is no probable cause in the Richard Allen case. The evidence of his innocence is beyond overwhelming. Please do the right thing and drop the charges today. To see someone imprisoned before having their day in court hurts Americans all over the country. I'm in Florida and have no connection to this case, and my heart has ached every single day that goes by for Libby, Abby, and Richard Allen. People all across this country lament while helplessly watching all of our rights being defiled. I mean, it's true. We're all sitting here watching it happen, and we're all powerless. In the Karen Reid case, we thought many hearings prior, like pretrial hearings, we thought that charges would be dropped because it's overwhelming evidence that there was corruption and cover up and that Karen didn't do it. And yet now we're in week 3, going on 4 of trial, still have no evidence that Karen did anything or that anything even happened necessarily because we're all over the place, but that's besides the point. So, but if anybody is watching or carefully following the Delphi case and you haven't gotten into the Karen Reid case, you really should because there are a lot of similarities. There's a lot of things. I mean, it's not a cult, but it's the Albert cult or the Mick Albert cult in Canton or Norfolk District because it's a family that is like pretty protected in the town, and they are most likely the culprits. Anyways, if you are interested in learning more about Karen Reid, I do have a whole playlist of Karen Reid. We go through all of the court documents and things as well. So feel free to go find that playlist if you're interested in things like this. There's a lot of similarities I see. Anyways, all right, so people across the country lament while helplessly watching all of our rights being defiled. Yeah, exactly. We're all screaming on the streets now. I mean, people are lining up, screaming free Karen Reid, and yet still in trial. So I don't know. It's like, and she pushes the same judge who de denied the motion to dismiss and motion to disqualify for all these reasons. And I mean, there were abundant pieces of evidence that point to other people. She stayed on the case. She was supposed to, like, they asked her to recuse herself because she's probably corrupt. It's just all very, it just reminds me of Delphi a lot. All right, so how could Mr. Allen have possibly committed this crime with what we know now? Abigail's last phone activity in the area was over 12 hours after Mr. Allen had left. How does walking across a bridge equal 2 counts of first-degree homicide? I walk on trails. Must I fear for my freedom, or will you please end this misery we all bear at the hand of you and Mr. McLeland? Fiery words. I love it. I implore you, please do something now. Make this right. Please know you're hurting people far and wide. We fear for our rights, our due process, effective counsel who is able to present a case with more than 10 minutes per witness. This man is incarcerated. For what? What good comes of this for anyone? What is the probable cause? Please do not delay. We've all read the Click report, the FBI reports or documents, the lack of probable cause, the description of 9 distinct people. Only a fool would believe anything that comes from the prosecutor now. A gracious, just act is needed now to restore your own credibility and integrity. There's no integrity of this case to salvage. Take the high road and please let this man be free. Let him go. Let us rest peacefully again. Every moment that goes by without your action is contributing to the diminishment of the rights of the public, you and me and everyone we love. This is torture. That is so far reaching. Please do whatever you can to right this egregious injustice that hundreds of thousands of people are burdened by just for knowing it continues. Sincerely, thank you. While there is a lower class, I am in it. While there is a criminal element, I am of it. While there is a soul is in prison, while there is a soul is in prison, I am not free. Interesting. That was very good. I mean, there were some really, really good points, and I thought it was very strongly worded. It was even titled, Please Drop Mr. Allen's Charges. I mean, that's pretty forward. I loved it. So, ES to Francis Gull. ES, good job. I thoroughly enjoyed reading your email, and I think you made some really great points. What is the probable cause? It's time to end this now. And it's not just Richard Allen who is fighting for his rights here, it is the rights of all of our citizens to be put away, locked up, put in solitary confinement for what? He hasn't done anything that we know of yet. I mean, we can't, it's supposed to be proven in a court of law, but for some reason, all the hearings and things going on make me suspect that there's a lot more going on than we know, and with deeper roots than we know, like judicial roots of the system and people infiltrated from these groups like the Odinist groups and the Vinlanders and whatnot. I think they're everywhere. I think they're all over law enforcement. I think they're in the judicial system. And if Gull is not part of this brotherhood or group or whatever, then she's definitely being threatened or something to make it go the way of Richard Allen goes and takes the fall for this. That's what I think is happening. It's either she's in it or she's being forced to make that decision and it's not her own free will. I really don't know. I mean, those are the only two things I conclude. She is absolutely so corrupt in this case and so biased that there is absolutely no way that they can move forward with her on the case. They every single step of the way, it's like fighting someone who's so adversarial and just wants to see you gone. That's what Richard Allen's attorneys are dealing with. So it's a struggle, and I feel for them. All right, so the next ex parte communication was received from Lance Bloom. And here we go. From Lance Bloom. Dear Honorable Judge Gull, Mr. Baldwin, Mr. McClelland, and Mr. Rosie. This letter from me was mailed last month. On May 13th, I called to confirm it was given to you, and the courthouse employee said resend because there was not a receipt record. I wrote my letter when the trial of Richard Allen was in May, now moved October. My letter's points are not changed, but the months are. Okay. Thank you for that reference, Lance Bloom, or that little bit of information. All right, so, dear Honorable Judge Gull, a wise man once said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Today, I write you not just as a concerned citizen, but as someone deeply invested in the principles of justice, proudly giving my country a voice to ask for transparency in the Richard Allen trial. Please. In life, I have many roles, but none more important than being an American citizen. My love for my country is like a circle. It knows no end or beginning. I feel blessed to live in the best country in the world where I value our justice system and above all else, Constitution. This is really nicely written. Judge Gull, Because you don't know me, I want to start this letter with an anecdote so you understand how strong my devotion to Constitution is. My respect for this document, our supreme law of the land, is so great that I chose to get a tattoo on my left arm of Constitution and all 10 amendments as a reminder to exercise them daily. Nice. It symbolizes wherever I go as an American, so does Constitution. Judge Gull, in our great country, we have the right for public trials. This court case, in particular, is being followed by hundreds, and putting it on the TVs will let the world see how America values a fair and just legal system and act as a beacon of hope for the world. And it will make things much more convenient for me. Carroll County Courthouse is small. For a chance at seating, you must arrive early and stand in line. A 9 a.m. start time would require me to wake up no more than, or no later, sorry, than 8, drive 7 minutes to the courthouse. 7 minutes, buddy, come on. And then on top of that, stand in line? Being able to tune in at my own convenience in the comfort of my home would be much less burdensome, as I'm sure you understand. How about the people that don't live near Delphi and want to watch it, like me? Or, you know, any people, I'm also disabled, so I wouldn't be able to sit up all day in a pew or a uncomfortable seat. So I wouldn't be able to sit for an entire trial. I could, however, lay down and listen to the trial from the convenience of my own home since I'm disabled. And yeah, anyways, all right. So, um, yeah, I wouldn't be able to stand in line or sit in those uncomfortable chairs. All right, so almost equally important is the defendant's American right to see his own trial. Thankfully, correctional facilities have televisions, but that has no relevance if the trial won't have cameras. Due to his current housing situation, not broadcasting it completely blocks Mr. Allen from his own trial because how else would he see if not for live TV? I'm flabbergasted there isn't more outrage over this. The second point of my letter is about scheduling objections. The thing keeps flickering my second screen. Stop it. Sorry. On April 1st, the WNDU article quotes you, the Honorable Judge Gull, as saying the trial will take place 6 days a week, including Saturday. If there are no religious objections from any of the jurors, I'd like for formally record, I'd like to formally put on the record my objection to this. The Fourth Amendment states, "Thou shalt keep the Sabbath day holy." So being in court on a Saturday would violate Constitution. Also, many religious holidays fall on weekends sometimes. The news report suggests the trial will start at the last week of May, its duration uncertain. May includes at least 1 week, Cinco de Mayo. Without a calendar in front of me, I don't know the date it will fall on this year, but it's prudent to keep in mind out of the respect of religious observers. Well, I don't think Cinco de Mayo is religious. It's like their freedom, isn't it? It's like their day of freedom. Am I wrong? I really honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I know what Cinco de Mayo is all about. That's I think I'm blanking on that. All right, so um, but still, I get what he's trying to say. So Judge Gall, I have a strong gut feeling that the points I've made in my letter are so strong and unbreakable that they will change the no camera decision. I don't know if he made the strongest of points, but I get what he's saying, and someone like me who lives several hours of a drive away and wouldn't be able to make that drive because of my disability and wouldn't be able to stand in line and anybody who's geologically or geographically, you know, away from the court would benefit from being able to watch the stream. Plus, it's better for appeal. It's for the record, it's better for, I think, and I've seen this like in real time because I've been watching YouTubers stream trials, and they have attorneys on afterwards constantly that say, yeah, we would watch the trial. While we were in trial, we would go back to our hotel rooms and watch the trial. And, they would glean other things that they could ask another witness, or, could help benefit them in the attorneys in the Maya case, the Maya Kowalski case. They did this tremendously. They used social media and the advantage of the trial being streamed online to their advantage. They use that a lot. So, I mean, it's a good thing to have it. It's always better to have more than not. I mean, same with like body cams. Why are we not? We have the ability to film. We have the ability to have a body cam on every officer 24/7 when they're, on the job. Obviously, like when they need to turn it off for private bathroom breaks or, private phone calls, whatever, they should be able to turn it off. But w- at any other point, it should be on and running, I think. And same with courtrooms. Like they should all be streamlined, and every courtroom should have some kind of like YouTube channel, or even if it's just like a local uh cable access network or something. Everybody needs like, I think everybody should trial should be streamed. But then again, if I was on trial for something, I wouldn't want it streamed. So unless I was being framed or railroaded, I would, because I'd want that to be exposed. So I mean, you perspective. It just depends which way you look at things. All right. So he thinks, or who is this? Bloom, Lance Bloom thinks he made strong points. If in the very small chance that they don't change your decision, I want you to know that while I might feel a little sad, I will channel the disappointment into big, great, wonderful things, all of them very positive. It will inspire me to continue to stand up and speak loudly on behalf of my fellow Hoosiers and Americans everywhere, because my voice represents them, and put in hard work for change. Today, I might be an everyday Joe or Lance, but tomorrow I might be the Honorable Judge Joe or Lance. Because if we can't have the TVs, I will pledge to throw my hat in the ring and run against you in the next election for judge. I may not have the college degrees, but I have the heart, and if I win the election, the first thing I will do is change the law to allow all cameras in the courtroom for Richard Allen's trial and put it on every TV across the world so everyone can watch it where they want to watch it live. Thank you for reading this letter, Judge Gull, and thank you for your service to our state. I know you've been doing it a long time, and I respect you. I respect Constitution, and I respect the USA. Signed, Lance Bloom. And Judge Gull, he's coming for you. I'd vote for him if I lived in Indiana. I would vote for Lance Bloom because I like his passion. What do you guys think? Those were two ex parte communications that the judge received in this past week. Interesting, interesting things, huh? I think Lance Bloom is a good candidate, and hopefully he gets to be the next judge of Carroll County. All right, so I also wanted to bring up the fact that Judge Gull put in this order for no media again, or not. Well, she received more requests, I should say, and she denied requests for media being present at Richard Allen's trial, which was supposed to start in May, and now it's not. But so here, excuse me, I need some water. So 5/16/2024, she ordered this. The court has received a request for the recording of court proceedings by news media from Corin Brock, WPT or WPTA, for the now October 14th to November 15th trial and denies the same. So she's denying the request for court proceeding. Same here. The court has received a request for a recording of court proceedings by news media from, oh, it's the same one. I thought there were two separate. Oh, there are. Okay. I don't know why that was put in there twice. Oh, because of the date. So that was for May 21, 23, and denies the same. So they updated their order. Got it. It's the same guy or gal, Corin. I don't know. That could be a guy or a gal. It's a cool name. All right. And then the second one is this court has received a request by news media from Cindy Hebert, WTHR, and Indie Broadcast Media for May 21st through the 23rd, and denies. And denies. That's it. She denies. So she's denying again more media requests. I mean, she's getting these ex parte communications and she's filing them. And I mean, they're public documents now, we can see them. So that's really interesting that she denies all this media, but then I guess maybe she has to publicly put these letters out. I mean, she could have sealed them if she wanted to, I'm sure, but I don't know. So that's what we've got today for the ex parte communications and media denial. If you have some things that you want to express to Judge Gull, mind you, you might get read, your letter might get read on shows like mine, but if you have some things that you would like to express to Judge Gull, if you think you could say it better than Lance Bloom or ES, or if you you're outraged and you just need to express it to someone, she's a good candidate to express it to because of, all the crap that she's done to them. So I would email her at frances.gull@allensuperiorcourt.us. That is her email address. You can also send her mail, snail mail. You can send it as a letter. But that one individual, was it Lance? They sent their letter. No, that was ES, right? Mm-mm. It was Lance that even said in their letter, we sent this letter. Yeah, this letter was sent for me in the mail. I asked to see if it was received and it was not. So then they had to email it anyway. So your best chance is to just email it to Francis Gull. Again, that is francis.gull@allensuperiorcourt.us. And I've also provided the snail mail address if you do choose to send her an actual letter, which might not get in the file. There we have it. I don't even know what to say anymore. I just really, I, I think Judge Gull needs to step down. She should not be a judge anymore, like, period, of any trials. Because, I mean, if you're going to act this way in one, what makes you think she's not going to do this in others? So I think she's shown her true colors and the world has seen it, and she needs to step down from being a judge. Little miss, I've done all this to pave the road for the judicial system. My mouth is dry and scratchy. Yeah. She's done all this to help progress the judicial system and putting cameras in courtrooms and things like that. Yet she denies cameras in Richard Allen's case. So why is that? And the one time she allowed cameras was when she wanted to publicly shame his attorneys. And they decided they would bow out instead because that's the only choice she gave them. That's the only time there were cameras allowed in. So that's my opinion. I think she should just no longer be a judge. Maybe I should write her a letter, but I don't want to read my own letter back at you guys. Anyways, maybe I should. If you guys have something to say and you feel it necessary, I mean, I don't think everybody should just be like sending her hate mail. But if you have something that you really want to express that irks you about the way that this um, whole case has been handled, the way that she's been treating the defense attorneys, the way that she's just ignoring basic evidence that, I mean, and denying things without hearing for them constantly. That's one of the big ones for me that shows she is biased. She's just like denied without hearing. And then Nick McClellan wants something, and 2 seconds later, she's like, "Yep, you can have that." But yet, any other filing or motion that the defense puts forth, she's like making them wait months before she answers. So it's just, you can see the bias. We all can see it. So hopefully she's no longer on the case because they've asked for a disqualification, and I'm hoping that even if she denies it, there might be some remedy above that, that they can go to the Supreme Court and be like, see, we asked you to take her off, you didn't, and now more things. There's more evidence as to why she's biased. I think that might be their next step. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I enjoy reading your comments. Even if I don't respond to every comment, I do read them, and I appreciate all of your input regarding this case and others. So I want to thank you guys so much for being here, and have a great time, great night, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye.
If you've been impacted by a true crime and would like your story told in your own words, or if you or someone you know has been wrongfully convicted or accused of a crime, please write to crimeincourtchannel@gmail.com and tell us your real true crime encounters. Thanks for watching.